Welcome to our monster Peak Design Travel Duffel 65-liter review. And it's fitting this is a monster review because this is a monster duffel. It's made with super high quality materials, is a great middle ground between being simple while also having some really cool features, and it has the ability to be worn in multiple different ways. But is this the gear hauler for you? And do all the features rationalize the high price tag? Be sure to watch this review till the end, because if this is not the duffel for you, I'll make an alternative recommendation for another duffel that's very similar, but might just be better for your needs. So keep an eye out. Okay, let's kick this review off by talking about the overall gist of the Peak Design Travel Duffel 65-liter. Some of the top features for this duffel are going to be Peak Design's next level materials. Durable, waterproof, satisfying to the touch. Some really thoughtful organization in the main compartment, but really some cool pockets on the outside of the duffel. We'll talk about that in the next chapter of this review. The ability to carry the duffel in different ways, where you do like regular shoulder strap style, sling shoulder strap style, carrying it with the two handles, or going into backpack mode, which I'll talk about a bit more in depth also in the next chapter. I'm not crazy about it. I got some things to say. As of recording this review, the duffel comes in two color options. You've got a black and a green. The 65-liter comes in weighing 2.9 pounds or 1.3 kg. This is the duffel when it's empty. This is the duffel when it's full. Be sure to watch the whole review so you can see us. We're gonna actually pack it out chapter by chapter so you can see exactly how much gear this gear hauler can fit. This is the bag on me. I'm 5'8" for reference. As for comfort, I think that the shoulder strap is actually quite comfortable, whether you're wearing it in regular duffel mode or in crossbody. Got some nice padding right here. Handle mode doesn't offer quite as much padding and or comfort, but it's still pretty solid. And we'll talk about backpack mode a bit more in depth in the next part of the review. And for all you see before your eyes, this duffel costs around 170 US dollars. And we do ask that if you make a purchase, that you use the first link in the description. That link makes sure that you get the best price, and it also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get in depth and talk about the outside of the Peak Design Travel Duffel 65-liter. The first thing we're gonna discuss is the materials. Are the materials? This main exterior material has sort of like a rubbery tarpaulin feel to it, but it's not sticky. It's actually smooth to the touch. And the most important part about this material is that it's highly durable and water resistant. This material is, and I quote, weatherproof, 100% recycled 600D nylon canvas, external shell, DWR impregnated and poly coated for water resistance. It's a bunch of jargon that just means that this is going to be a highly durable duffel. And while you have 600D on the top, you have 900D nylon on the bottom. 900 greater than 600, therefore stronger. The bottom of the bag is actually more weather resistant than the top of the bag is, which is really smart design on Peak Design's part. Some other quick notes about the materials. Peak Design makes their own custom hardware. I love this metallic hardware right there. We've got Peak Design's super smooth Ultra Zips. Love what's happening with the interior materials, but we'll talk about that in the next chapter. Overall, there's just kind of a rule of thumb that when you buy Peak Design, you're gonna get the best of the best when it comes to materials, which is obviously super important when you're traveling. And speaking of traveling, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Genki. Genki specializes in health insurance for digital nomads and other long-term travelers. With their World Explorer Travel Health Insurance, you get covered in every single country, all under one flexible monthly subscription, which means you don't have to decide in advance where you're going or how long you'll be traveling for. And if you get sick or need any medical care while you're traveling, you can just go to any licensed doctor or hospital worldwide. Plus, Genki offers a 24/7 hotline for emergencies. Genki was launched last year by a group of digital nomads, but their insurance is backed by some of the world's biggest insurance providers. And best of all, they make it super easy to sign up and cancel from anywhere in the world. To learn more about Genki and get yourself covered while you're traveling, I always get travel insurance when I travel, just true story. It's super important. You just want yourself to be covered. But to learn more about Genki, be sure to click on the second link in the description. Now back to the review. All right, let's start with these outside pockets because they're quite cool. We've got two pockets on either side of the outside of the duffel, and they look pretty similar, and they are pretty similar with some minor differences. Let's start with the branded side with the Peak Design logo right there. And also just on a side note, I love Peak Design's branding. It's nice and subtle. Sometimes duffels have like really loud branding, but Peak Design keeps it discreet, nonchalant. I'm a big fan. So on the branded side, let's start with the bottom pocket. Yet again, using Peak Design's Ultra Zip zippers, it never compromises the security and the waterproofness, right? Like see, this is PU coated, so they're super durable, they're super smooth, and you just feel it every time you open it and close it. It's just a magical experience. Now that we're in the pocket, it's a super basic pocket, right? There's no internal organization within this pocket. It's just sort of a throw-all. Love the gray interior materials here. This is awesome for two reasons. One, looks nice, but two, it helps to create a highlight effect because it's kind of dark in there, right? So that light gray helps to brighten things up a little bit, which makes it easier to find your gear. It's a small thing, but it goes a long way. I'm gonna throw a notebook in this pocket, pen, and I got a microphone that I do some shooting with on my phone. Pop that in there, zip it up. Nice. The pocket actually expands really well, so that means that bulkier bits of gear, like a water bottle, might even be able to fit in there, maybe. Let's find out on the other side. Just 1 second though. Now let's go to the top pocket. Yet again, Ultra Zip zipper, super smooth experience. And now we got a little bit more going on in this pocket. Inside we have 1, 2 mesh pockets, and then a single Velcro pocket on the other side. The mesh pockets I like a lot. It's not my favorite mesh, but I think that it works with this bag very well. It's got a little stickiness to it, like there's no expandability, right? It's just like sort of a plasticky, rubbery kind of a feel, but a quality one. I assume it's laser cut, it looks super clean. And mesh is great because when you forget what you put where, you can see through, right? And know what you put where. So I'm gonna throw some stuff in here. I got a backup phone battery, keep that right there. My AirPods, basically anything that you want quick access to that's also a bit smaller, right? Because things that are inside the main compartment, they kind of get lost sometimes. You know, that's like the black hole of the duffel experience. So that's why it's smaller tidbits. I got a backup mask and my wallet, they're all going here. And then you got a little Velcro pocket where you can hide maybe an ID card, backup credit card. You can get creative and put other things in there if you want. No judgment. Zipper on up. It should be noted that these clips for the duffel handle can kind of interfere slightly with the opening and closing of this compartment. It can be a little annoying, so you'll figure out a system where you sort of pull this aside, zip it open, so on. Just something to be aware of. Other side, same sort of setup, big old pocket here, no interior organization. Let's see if it fits a water bottle. I got a 16-ounce water bottle from Columbia right here. Fits with room to spare. And then for the upper pockets, no ID slot. And instead of 2 mesh pockets, we have 1, 2, 3 mesh pockets. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a backup tote in there, tissues, nicotine, zip it on up. A couple more notes on the outside of the Peak Design Travel Duffel 65 liter. Let's talk about the carrying experience, right? So we've got 3 different ways to carry this. Handheld mode, backpack mode, shoulder strap mode. Handheld mode is pretty good. You can actually remove these if you want, which is nice if you're just not a big handheld guy, which I'm not really. I'm usually gonna go into shoulder strap mode 9 times out of 10. Really nice nylon on these hand straps, silky. Just went that little extra step and it just adds so much and rationalizes the higher price point, and it will be more durable because of that. Love the metal hooks, gives it a little bit more of a premium feel, and especially when you're snapping it into place, wait for it. I love that sound, very satisfying. The handle itself, I think could use a bit more padding. You're using like this Hypalon material, it's scratchy, not like painfully scratchy. I'm obviously splitting hairs right now, but I could use maybe a little bit more padding so when I am in handheld mode, I just have a little bit extra relief on my hands. The other side does have a bit of padding, like kind of. And then when they're combined, you have these buckles right here that can go ahead and snap it into place. It's a pretty nice experience. I think there is some room for improvement though. Speaking of shoulder strap, let's talk about it. Same nylon, really high quality, silky smooth. The shoulder strap itself has a decent amount of padding. It's not like a super cushiony experience, but it's got enough as to where it takes the brunt of the weight and it just feels cozier. I mean, I've gotten duffels like the Boundary Supply duffel, which I'm a huge fan of, but they don't have any shoulder strap. It's just the nylon the whole way around. And you're like, really? Like, come on, like these duffels get heavy. Like I need a little bit of cushion for the duffel. Cushion for the duffel. That's a new one. What's interesting is that while Peak Design chose metal hardware for the connection of the hand handles, they used plastic hardware for the connection of the shoulder strap, which is a bit strange to me. I kind of wish it was a bit more of a consistent experience, and I just love the look and feel of this metal, and I wish that this was metal as well. But super easy to pop off, as I struggle to do it. There you go. See, super easy to pop off. and putting it back on, not quite as satisfying of a sound, but it still works. And those are the 2 ways that I would recommend carrying this bag. There is a 3rd way. Let's talk briefly about backpack mode, AKA Aaron's least favorite mode. There's no like hidden backpack straps. It's just using the handheld straps, right? And then going into backpack mode. As such, listen, it works. It works. Like I'm carrying the duffel as so, and it's working as kind of a backpack. But it's not like a super comfortable backpack experience, right? These are not intended to be backpack straps. They're not cushioned in the way backpack straps are. There's no back ventilation, but I will say it's nice to have the option to fall back on, but don't get like super excited about like, yo, I got like a backpack and a duffel, because you didn't. You got a duffel that can sort of function as a backpack for short periods of time. But if you're looking for a true backpack duffel, wait till the end of the video when I give you some of these alternative recommendations. I got a couple of awesome options for you. One cool note about backpack mode, I think, because I can't verify this in the Peak Design website, but if you remove the straps from this point to these external lash points, I think that it's like gonna improve the backpack carrying experience. And these lash points in general, you can use them to clip things on using Peak Design's lash straps, right? So lash points in general just add a lot of functionality. And one last note, we have these handles right here on either side of the duffel. These aren't really carrying handles, but they're great when you're traveling, and it's just an extra point of like leverage, right? Just to kind of move the duffel around, especially when you're taking these on a flight, right? You put it in the overhead compartment and you want to grab it, that's a lifesaver. But it's just nice to have them in general. Just another leverage point to move the duffel around, grab it, make that duffel your. Okay, let's talk about the inside of the Peak Design Travel Duffel 65 liter. And let me just tell you, you know, it's big. Like it's really, really big, but it's also quite minimalist. You got the main compartment, a couple of lash points, 2 mesh pockets, and that's it. Which in my opinion is great. You don't want a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo in the main compartment of the duffel. You just want to throw your in there and like move on with your travels. That's the point of a duffel. That's what Peak Design gives you. Yet again, great materials, creates a highlight effect, big fan. Now, one thing to note too on the inside, we have 1, 2, 3 external looking lash points on either side. Those are for the Peak Design packing cubes. The 35 liter Peak Design Travel Duffel can fit 3 Peak Design packing cubes, and the 65 liter can fit 4 with extra space. Mesh pocket's pretty basic, zipper access, nice and smooth. Not much expansion really, it's a little bit tighter of a pocket, but yet again, mesh, high quality, love what they're bringing to the table. I'm gonna go ahead and pop my phone on that side. And on the other side, let's see if the computer charger will fit. It's pretty bulky, absolutely. Now, before I pack this thing out and show just how beefy this main compartment is, let me show you one little cool trick thing that Peak Design does. It's an anti-theft measure where you can take the zippers from both of these outside pockets, right? This top zipper. And what you can do is push the zipper in, sort of close it like that. And then on the flip side, you got this little hole right there and you can weave the zipper through, right? And then flip it on back over, sort of close this guy shut. It takes a little finagling. And then you take the zipper and hook it on right here on this little plastic looking guy, and boom, your zipper is secure. This is not going to completely stop a thief, right? They can probably figure it out if they're a crafty enough of a thief. But ultimately, it's a nice security measure, especially if you're leaving your duffel around. You just want to make sure that the stuff that's in here, because like I said, this is a quick access stuff. I got my headphones in there, I got my wallet in there, I got my keys in there. So this security measure is one of the best things that Peak Design does, just in general, because it's so subtle. It doesn't add any more shenanigans to the experience, but if you need it or just want the experience, it's always there for you, and I love that. And remember, you can do that on both sides of the duffel. All right, let's pack it out. Sleeping mat. Oh yeah. Travel pillow. Week's worth of clothes. Tech pouch and a bathroom pouch. This is from Nomadic, this is from Manal. What else we got? I got throw my hat in there. We got a packable day pack. This is the Air Go 2 backpack. Very compressible, great for traveling. Put that on top. And then I got my laptop in the Wandered laptop case. Go ahead and put that on the very top. And let's see. Think it'll close, Margaret? Absolutely, she says. She's confident and she is absolutely right. Oh my God, this is huge. So as you can see, that's a lot of stuff. And as you can see, it fits it with some room to spare, and I just threw the clothes in there. If you're packing smarter and you put your clothes in travel cubes and compress them, and you're not traveling with like a big ass sleeping mat, like it is impressive how much stuff this can fit, and bulky stuff, right? These are things that just wouldn't fit in a backpack. And then, oof, it's heavy. So when you're carrying it, you feel it. So with the duffel, you're sacrificing comfort for the duffelness because it's not gonna be as comfy as a backpack, but it can fit things in it that a backpack just couldn't. But one note about the laptop, if you're like a super digitally traveler and a laptop's coming with you, I don't feel like amazing with my laptop being in here. That's why it needs to be in a laptop case, 100%. But even then, it's getting tossed around a little bit. There's no dedicated laptop compartment. If you're looking for a duffel that has a laptop compartment, stick around to the alternative section where I'll tell you my favorite duffel that has a laptop compartment. Pros and cons of the Peak Design Travel Duffel 65 liter. Pro number one, awesome materials. Pro number two, it's the perfect intersection between having some features while also being minimalist, which is what you want out of a duffel. And pro number three is going to be the different carrying versatility, whether you want to go in handheld mode, shoulder strap mode, or backpack mode. But I got some cons too. Let's talk about them. Con number one, a bit pricey for a duffel. Con number two, I don't think backpack mode is as great as it's advertised to be. And con number three is that I do wish that the handheld straps had a bit more padding to them. But listen, no pack is perfect. We understand this more than anyone. In fact, we are building our own backpack here at Nomads Nation. And not only that, we're actually documenting the entire journey on our YouTube channel. If you want to get a behind the scenes look at our building a backpack journey and you want to help vote on some of the key features of the bag, take a look at the third link in the description. You can sign up to our email list and learn more about the game-changing backpack that we're making here on this channel. So if you've evaluated the pros and the cons and you're like, I'm getting one, let's go. Remember, we do ask that you use the first link in the description as it makes sure you get the best price and it helps to support our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. But let's say you're not quite sold. Worry not, I have some alternative recommendations for you. Alternative recommendation number one is going to be the Peak Design Duffel Pack. This is going to be for you if you're looking for a duffel that can also be a backpack, but not like a backpack like that. I'm talking like a great backpack. Hence the name, Duffel Pack. To learn more about the Duffel Pack, take a look in the description below and you'll find a link to our full review. Alternative recommendation number two is going to be the Packed One Duffel. This is going to be a great duffel for you if you're looking for something a little bit smaller. It's 40 liters, I think. But you need a duffel that has next level laptop protection. This is what the Packed One does perfectly. It's got a dedicated laptop sleeve. It's super innovative. And to learn more about it, you can go on down to the description and you'll find a link to our full review. And alternative recommendation number three for you is going to be the Peak Design Travel Duffel 35 liter. Yes, that's right. There's a 65 liter and a 35 liter. So the 35 is for you if you're like, I love what's going on, but I don't need one that big. In that case, check out the 35 liter. It's basically the same exact duffel, a few different specs. You'll want to see the review to know what those different specs are. And you can find the review in the description below. If you enjoyed our Peak Design Travel Duffel 65 liter review, then we do recommend checking out the next video, which is our roundup of our favorite duffels. In that, you'll learn what we look for in a duffel, and you'll see some more awesome duffels that are on the market so you can get a better idea of what best suits your needs. Check out the video now. My name's Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.